welcome back. Long time no see. I haven't done a video for quite a while now, as most of my other videos were done during lockdown, so it's gone a bit crazy again. We're all meeting up again and very busy lives. In this video, I'm about to explain to you about are there reptilian humanoids living on planet Earth at this moment in time? And the short answer is yes. Yes, there are. The planet Earth was theirs to start with. They found planet Earth as a place that had resources for their planet, which is, I don't know whether you know, Orion's belt. So the first reptilian humanoids that came to the planet Earth came because we have resources, or there was no humanoids here at the time. There's no humans here at the time. So Earth has resources that they needed, such as gold, copper, and everything else. Now, when they got here, they first of all just started to articulate the land a little bit like we would if we got a farm. So they started off with the dinosaurs. As you can see, the dinosaurs are very reptilian, all of them. And our scientists have got most of that correct by finding the bones and coming to some conclusions, some educated conclusions as to what the start of planet Earth was. However, there were reptilian humanoids living on the planet at the time of the dinosaurs, although the dinosaurs are a little bit like our cows or sheep. You know, they aren't the actual intelligent being. But for whatever reason, the information has been taken away from us in recent times or not given to us in the first place. So it's taken me a long time to do this video because it's a little bit scary to some people, and I was a little bit apprehensive because I know the reptilians are going to be watching me do this, as well as humans wanting to know if some of these things that they've been told are true. There are videos where I've watched a few on YouTube of a reptilian being interviewed by a human. However, the reptilian wasn't appearing on a video. They were just doing it as a voice recording because as the draconians, I'm going to call them, as the draconians were here to start with, they started with the trying to articulate the land, and then they realized that they needed to have a race of effectively at the time slaves to help them to mine the planet Earth. So when the Neanderthal human was created, this was the next project because the huge dinosaurs didn't really work. They wanted to create a intelligent life form. So the Neanderthal was on the planet, ape type being, which the records have shown there's quite a big jump between the Neanderthal brain and the current human brain, such a big jump in size and intelligence that it wouldn't have been done under normal evolution. So the brain went from quite a small, unintelligent being to quite a large being, quite a large brain, quite an intelligent, or slowly becoming more intelligent than the current ape. This was done by DNA manipulation or interbreeding between the draconians, the greys, a few other races, and the apes living on the planet Earth. This then produced humans that would worship these beings as gods. Now, the reptilians were the first to discover planet Earth as a resource, and because they're quite close by on Orion's belt. However, they weren't the only humanoid to a humanoid from another planet to arrive on planet Earth and think this looks a good place for us to be. However, they were the main humanoid that decided to call planet Earth their home or reside here to start with. There was a few other beings, the Pleiadians, for example, the Lyrans, that came down and also tried to have the planet as theirs. A little bit like, there's been many arguments over different parts of the Earth with other humans. So the English thought that they decided to land in India and this was ours, or they landed in the Americas and this was ours. Although there was lots of indigenous people already living on that part of the Earth, they decided it was theirs. Very similar. There was a few wars, which meant that the reptiles were destroyed. So the planet had a meteorite hit, which caused the Ice Age. And then they started over again with another project, which was, after the Ice. I'm not so good at the history, but there was another project where they had the saber-toothed lion, the apes, and everything else. That seemed to work a bit better, and then it evolved from there. Now, at this time, humans were very much aware of these other beings coming down and visiting them, and they knew that they were more intelligent than them, and so they looked upon them as gods, which is why we see in ancient Egypt, we see hieroglyphics of and gods, the cat people that are in the Egyptian hieroglyphics, like Bastet, they would have been from Lyra. And then you've got the reptilian humanoid god that was called Thoth, if I've pronounced that correctly. So the humans worship these beings, and they had different perspectives on how to treat the humans and how the planet was going to evolve, which caused a bit of friction, which is why you hear a lot of mythology around gods fighting each other. Okay, so bringing it on to current times, most of the ancient history has been pretty much destroyed, so we're unsure of what exactly happened. We're sort of now only just sort of revisiting those hieroglyphics and those drawings to see whether they can find any clues as to the origins, because when our current religions came along, they seemed to wipe out all of the indigenous, pagan, druid, ancient Egyptian, ancient Mayan, all around the world. They wiped out the ancient knowledge because it wasn't written down. So the new religions would write down what the humans are to know, and we have gone on from there, believing what we've been told. Now we've got to the point where we're not up to 4 or 5D intelligence, but we're getting to the point where most people are educated, so we can make our own decisions as to what we think might have happened. However, we're still a little bit in the dark, and this is where I'm going to talk to you directly, reptilians, draconians, whatever you would like to call me. I'm so sorry if I've offended you, because I don't know, because I haven't met any of you yet. This is what I'm going to tell the humans that are watching this as well. This is my current understanding. My current understanding of you guys is that you reside mainly in underground layers, that sounds really awful, but anyway, underground dwellings on planet Earth, mainly in southern parts of North America and South America, and other parts of in areas that are quite densely jungle, that humans wouldn't really venture into too much, so that you get a bit of peace and quiet. There's a lot of conspiracy theories that the humans have come up with, that you're controlling our media, you're controlling our governments, and you have a strong bloodline within the royal family of the United Kingdom and other areas, although there's not many royal families left anymore. Now, the understanding is that you disguise yourself as humans to us using potentially holographic technology, which means that when we see you as a human to our eyes. And the only time that it will sometimes we'll notice there's something strange is if a lot of the time you blink quite a lot more frequently than we do, and the technology is the pixels get broken and we can maybe view a part of you that looks, we can see the image of you in your true light. Now, the interview I've listened to, I think it was a Danish reporter that interviewed one of your students, and she was about in her 20s, and was explaining that their skin is very much like reptilian skin, and the patterns that she has, and that there's a slight difference between the patterns of the males and the females, that our human clothing is quite uncomfortable because your skin is quite sensitive to tight clothing. And if you were in your natural environment with people that you're very part of your very close knit family or close knit people, you will mainly be naked. Or if you're in a public event or with people that are not so close to your family, that you would wear big lightweight cloaks or lightweight clothing because it's a lot nicer for your skin. And this got me thinking that, I don't understand why we haven't seen you yet, and why you can't come out on planet Earth and live like we do, where we're able to view you as you are in your natural form and learn more about your culture, as I think that we would be open to it now. I know that humans can be horrendous themselves, so the thought of being controlled by another being, I think that humans can mess things up for themselves quite easily. We destroy each other. We've used each other as slaves depending on race. We can be quite cruel and violent towards each other. So the thought of you being the main reason that happens is quite ridiculous, in my opinion. However, I know that our cultural differences may irritate you, and the fact that we don't know how to speak your language and we don't know how to address you without offending you maybe is the main reason why I'm contacting you, because I know you watch these videos to check of the content that is going out there, because there's a lot of things going out there that are quite derogatory towards you from the human side. Pictures of the royal family, Justin Bieber with strange eyes and things like that. Now, I know that a lot of people that are a lot of reptilians are in the public eye. However, it's very derogatory to make drawings and make fun out of things, and probably get the whole thing wrong anyway, because those people are probably just bloodline. However, most of us have got some DNA or some bloodline that's reptilian with running through our veins, because the origins of humans was partly reptilian anyway. So we are in effect, we started out as slaves, but I'm sure you've become quite fond of some humans, not all. And we are part of your breeding program, or we are part of your, distant family in a way. So, I mean, I know personally I've got reptilian and Lyran blood running through me, so it's a bit mixed. And, like I said, humans can't even be kind to each other due to race. So I'm not surprised that you choose to not come out fully. And you don't want people to ridicule you and say that it's a computer manipulation, that you're not actually really there. But I think that it's come to the time where, I personally would be a little bit apprehensive about meeting someone, or meeting a humanoid from another planet that looks, or from this planet that looks totally different to me, because your natural instinct is to be scared of something that you're unsure of, or is part of the unknown. but I would be happy to speak to you, because the thing is, the interviews I've heard, first of all, don't show you or don't show your form. They just are podcast interviews. And secondly, it was quite matter of fact what was being asked, such as, what do you eat? How do you have children? These sort of questions. And I was told, according to those things, you have a very ancient culture and you have a very ancient language. There are some of you that are dangerous to humans and some that are not. That, potentially, I wouldn't want to know. You might eat humans. Some of you might still eat humans, or don't eat humans, or eat meat. But some of you are becoming vegan, like we are now. And like I said, we're a different species, so we eat other animals. So, again, that isn't something that I would be necessarily. Well, I wouldn't be scared of, to be honest, because I'm not scared of death myself, as I know. But as I know, we don't just live this one life, so there we go. I was told that you do have eggs or like a membrane around your young, and that you have a claw in the middle of your hands, but the rest of you looks very similar to our, 2 arms, 2 legs, etc. And you have a claw coming out here, which helps you get the membrane out to break free of the egg when you're born, and that the women used to, haven't always, but they now breastfeed their young. So as well as us, you have changed and evolved. And it got me thinking, what actually do you like to do? These are very like scientific answers that we would ask, or we would be inquisitive about how a crocodile had their children or young. But this is not an intelligent human or intelligent being. It just seemed to be quite matter of fact about what you look like and these things, which I'm interested in. But I thought what I'm really interested in is, how do you socialize? Do you have one partner? Are you monogamous with your male and female partners? Do you have more than one partner? What do you enjoy to do? Do you party? Do you listen to music like we do? Do you socialize? Do you have weddings, celebrate birthdays? I know that the way you count how old you are is different to us, but these are the sort of questions I wanted to know. What makes you tick? What do you enjoy? What makes you want to live on planet Earth? What do you get irritated about humans? How would you like to be addressed? How would you like us to talk to you, address you? Can we learn your language? And most of all, I don't understand why we can't just view you as yourselves, because it seems a bit derogatory to come out as a human. And I don't know whether this stems from being scared, because humans can turn on people that are different to them, or whether or not it stems from wanting peace and quiet and to stick to your own kind and be left in peace. Whether or not it's to control us from behind the scenes so that the planet runs properly or not properly, or however. But anyway, these are questions that I'd like to know. And I know that if you came onto a video and you met me and we talked, that not everyone would believe this was real. But you've got to remember that, it's a very new thing. There's some human misconceptions that need clearing up, basically, and I think that it's about time that one of my main spirit guides is an alpha draconian, and he wants the planet to evolve. And I think that one of the main human misconceptions is that we are stuck in the matrix on this planet, that we continue to be reincarnated down on the planet as slaves to the reptilian race, which I disagree with, because I actually enjoy this planet, and I think that we all have the power within us to do whatever we want and to evolve to another level, 5D or above, to reincarnate onto another planet if we want to. It's our own minds that keep us trapped, as opposed to anybody else telling us what to do that keeps us trapped. And if there is a slight chance that any of these misconceptions are true, that you do keep us reincarnating on this planet because you need us, I would say to you that you'd be very surprised at how fond we all are of this planet and how we really want it to evolve. And lately, with the temperature rises and the fires, it's become very obvious to us that we're kind of destroying the planet that we both reside on. And as you are the more intelligent being and you have more knowledge than we do, I think that it would be helpful to get some guidance, because we've gone from living a peaceful indigenous life where we treated the planet with respect to suddenly becoming very material. And I think that the materialism started a couple of 100 years ago, or well, probably more than that, 500, 600, 700 years ago. And a lot of the wars are stopping. But I think it's about time we got another perspective. And it's about time that people met you, really. And as well as other beings, I know that there are other beings living here. I know that some of the Pleiadians live here as well, who look very similar to us anyway, so they don't hide their true selves. I'm sorry about the noise outside. Somebody's blowing leaves, which I don't really see the point in that. Bit of a waste of time, but on that note, I think I will leave it all with you. But hello, I'm Sian Beckett, and I believe I'm lying. And I've got joint bloodline running through me, so I know I'm safe, I know I'm protected, and it would be great to meet you and the rest of the planet to meet you. And I'm sure you've got some things that you could help us with, especially renewable fuel. And I'm sure that some of the humans have got very greedy over money and have really lost the point to incarnating in the first place, and that we would love to reincarnate back here again with our own free will, without any trap, really. Because it's a beautiful planet and I enjoy it. I know that it can be difficult, but if I've been on other planets and there's no naughty things like alcohol, I'm sure that coming down here and eating junk food and drinking alcohol is quite fun. So I think I may go back to the other planet after this incarnation and think I might just go down to Earth for 100 years. So especially if now, like you, I have my own ancestral line of humans living down here that I care about, I'm pretty sure that you do as well. And I will leave you to whatever you're doing, and in love and light. Humans, please leave comments and ask me any questions. And reptilians, draconians, thank you for listening to me, and I hope I haven't offended you in any way. And if you would like to contact me, you know where I am, and I'm happy to meet. And I think it's about time we got the true history of the planet from your perspective as well, instead of just guessing, which is what we're currently doing. I think we're ready. In love and light.